सच्चिदानन्दरूपम् लसत्कुण्डलं गोकुले व्रजमानम् लसत्कुण्डलं गोकुले व्रजमानम् यशोदाभियोलोकलादातापनमानम् यशोदाभियोलोकलादापमानम् परामे स्मृतमत्यन्ते दृढगोप्या परामृष्टमत्यन्ततो धृत्यगोप्या रुदन्तं मुहुर्नेत्रं युगं मृजन्तम् रुदन्तं मुहुर्नेत्रयुग्मं मृजन्तम् करं भोजयुग्मेन सान्तकनेत्रम् करां भोजयुग्मेन शातङ्कनेत्रम् महश्वासकं पात्रिनेककन्ता मुहुश्वासकं पत्रिरेखाङ्ककण्ठा स्थितग्रैवं दामोदरं भक्तिपादम् स्थितग्रैवं दामोदरं भक्तिबद्धम् इति दृक्स्विनीलाम्बर अनन्तकुण्डे इति दृक्स्वलीलाभिरानन्दकुण्डे अघोष्यं निमज्जन्तम् आख्यापयन्तम् स्वघोषं निमज्जन्तम् आख्यापयन्तम् तदीयेषु ज्ञानेषु भक्तिर्चितत्वम् तदीयेषु भक्तिर्चितत्वम् पुनः प्रेमस्तं शतकृतिवन्दे पुनः प्रेमतस्तं शतावृत्तिवन्दे वरं देवमोक्षं न मोक्षं विद्वा वरं देवमोक्षं न मोक्षावधिं वा न चान्यं प्रणेहं वसितपि न चान्यं वृणेऽहं वरिष्यादपीह इदं देव पूर्णाता गोपालबालम् इदं देव पूर्णाथ गोपालबालम् सदा मे मनस्यावसत्तं किमन्या सदा मे मनस्या विरास्थां किमन्यैः इदं ते मुखं भोजम् अत्यन्तनीलम् इदं ते मुखाम्भोजम् अत्यन्तनीलैर् वृतं कुन्तलैः स्निग्धरक्तस्य गोप्याम् वृतं कुन्तलैः स्निग्धरक्तैश्च गोप्या मुहुश्चुम्बितं बिम्बरक्तातरं मे मुहुश्चुम्बितं बिम्बरक्ताधरं मे मनस्य हृष्टं अलं लक्ष्यलभ्या मनस्या विरास्थामलं लक्ष्यलाभैः नमो देव दामोदरानन्तविष्णु नमो देव दामोदरानन्तविष्णो प्रसिद्ध प्रबोधकजलाब्धिमग्नम् प्रसीद प्रभो दुःखजालाब्धिमग्नम् कृपादृष्टिर्स्याति दीनं बताना कृपादृष्टिर्स्याति दीनं बतानो गणेशं मम ज्ञानम् अधि अक्षितस्य गृहाणेश मामज्ञं वेद्यक्षिदृश्य कुबेरात्मजौ बद्धमृतैव यद्वा कुबेरात्मजौ बद्धमूर्तैव यद्वत् त्वया मञ्चितो भक्तिभजो कृतः च
त्वया मोचितौ भक्ति भाजौ कृतौ च
तथा प्रेम भक्तिं स्वकं मे प्रयच्छ
तथा प्रेम भक्तिं स्वकाम्ये प्रयच्छ
नमो शीघ्रं विस्ति दामोदरेह
नमो ग्रहो मेऽस्ति दामोदरेह
नमस्ते तु दाम्ने स्फुरद्दीप्तिदाम्ने
नमस्ते स्तुदाम्ने स्फुरदीप्तिधाम्ने
त्वदीयोगार्याथा विश्वास्य दाम्ने
त्वदीयोदरायाथ विश्वस्य धाम्ने
नमो राधिकाय
नमो राधिकायै त्वदीयप्रियायै
नमो नन्तलीलाय देवाय तुभ्यम्
नमो नन्तलीलाय देवाय तुभ्यम्
नमो नन्तलीलाय देवाय तुभ्यम्
नमो नन्तलीलाय देवाय तुभ्यम्
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे
हरे राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे
हरे राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे
हरे राम राम हरे हरे
हरे राम 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 हरे हरे
Krishna.
Jai.
Yeah.
Very nice. So who's next? Radhika Mataji. It's so nice to see you after so long, Radhika.
No, Kartika.
Hare-
I don't know if it is the perfect thing, but I'm just going to read something, Mataji.
Go for it.
So, Glories of Kartika month. So, it is one of the most important months in our calendar, and it is very dear to Sri Radha Krishna. Um, like there is no yuga equal to Satya Yuga, no scripture equal to the Veda, no place of pilgrimage equal to the Ganges. So there is no month equal to the Kartika month. During this month, millions of devotees worship Damodara Krishna with ghee lamps and devotional bhajans, glorifying his playful childhood pastimes of stealing the yogurt. And traditionally desiring to satisfy their lordships, the Vaishnavas celebrate this month by following certain vows. Mataji, tell me if something is incorrect or.
You're doing perfectly fine. Keep going.
Uh, when one offers a lamp during the month of Kartika, his sins in many thousands and millions of births perish in half an eye blink. A person who offers a lamp in this way will not take birth again in this world. A person who offers a lamp to Lord Krishna during Kartika attains eternal spiritual world where there is no suffering. Kartika is the best and most glorious month, purest of pure, and it is particularly dear to Lord Krishna because it is the month of Srimati Radharani. This month is full of love of Lord towards his devotees. Any vow followed in this month, even a small one, brings tremendous results. Kirtika is the name of the third daughter of Prajapati Daksha. It was a custom in Vraja to name girls after Daksha's daughters. So the name of Radharani's mother was Kirtika or Kirtida, and Radharani became known as Kartiki, which means born of Kirtika. So Sanatana Goswami gives us the key to understanding the significance of the holy month of Kartika. Krishna says, of months I am Magasira. How do I pronounce this, Mataji? Margasira.
Margashir.
And
Margashir.
Kartika precedes Margasirsa. Therefore, Kartika represents Srimati Radharani. And the Vaishnavas also follow the Kartika Vrata, especially to satisfy Srimati Radharani by worshipping her during this month. Srimati Radhika is most famous for her compassion. Therefore, we follow the rules and regulations of Kartika Vrata, which are called Niyama Seva, so that Srimati Radharani will pour upon us her divine compassion. Sri Radhika and her Sakhis bestow upon us the eternal loving devotional service to the divine couple in Vrindavana groups for Vaishnavas. And the Kartika Vrata is most important than any other vows during the year. And of course, during this month, the Vaishnavas sing about Lord Damodara, the Lord of Gokula. What else should I say, Mataji? There's one more paragraph I have.
Go for it. You have actually said a lot of things which hasn't been covered in the past. So we are hearing new stuff from you. So go for it, please.
I found it on some other website. I was just going through some different websites, so I found it. I don't know whether you must have read it, Mataji. I'm not sure whether how correct or not it is, but
Go ahead.
Kartika is also a month of special vow, and it's called Urja Vrata. One of the names of the vow is Urja Vrata, and it is one of the names of Srimati Radharani, meaning mistress of Urja Vrata,
Urjeshwari.
wealth or power. All the wealth and strength manifest in her for serving Sri Krishna. She manages all the wealth and power that are meant for serving the master of her heart. So Urja Vrata, followed in the month of Kartika, ascends to Urjeshwari Sri Radhika, and therefore Vaishnavas attach very great importance to Kartika, especially in trying to satisfy Srimati Radharani to gain her service and thus service to her beloved Sri Krishna.
Yes. Wonderful. Urjeshwari ki jai. Very well done, Radhika. Wonderful.
It was fun. Yeah, I'm not sure, but yeah, I found it like interesting. Yeah.
Very interesting. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji.
Vidushi.
Hey Krishna, everyone. Hey Krishna. I'm attempting something very, very brave today. I will do my best. So, the Damodar story. So, this is the most enchanting pastime performed by Krishna in Vrindavan. It is the epitome or the topmost pastimes of all Vatsalya pastimes. So, Krishna performed this pastime to announce the exalted position of Mother Yashoda and to glorify her position as the best of all the Vatsalya devotees. So Mother Yashoda is the topmost devotee in Vatsalya Rasa. So the mercy that Mother Yashoda received was not received by Brahma, Shivji, or even Lakshmi Devi. So Mother Yashoda was able to capture, bind, and control Krishna. In this Leela, Krishna keeps aside his godhood, and he's the supreme. He's the supreme creator, maintainer, destroyer, proprietor, controller, enjoyer. But he puts all of that aside, and he becomes a little puppet or a doll in Mother Yashoda's hands. His destiny depends on her decision. So this is very sweet pastime. In this pastime, this is full of contradictions. He is Atmaram, but he is Tanyakama. He is Purna Manoratha, but he's Aptrupta. Vishuddha Sattva, but he becomes angry. Krodha, he displays Krodha. He's Kala personified, but he becomes fearful. He's the fastest, but he's caught. Absolute truth, but he lies. Supremely blissful, but he cries the whole way through, starting to nearly end. He stops in between for a few little bit time. He's the supreme judge, but he's judged here in the court of Mother Yashoda. Object of all prayers, but he's scolded and chastised. Supreme controller, but he's bound. Supreme proprietor, but he steals. So he does all these things to establish the position of his great devotee, Mother Yashoda, but to show the greatest quality that he has, that is bhakta vashyata, or the ability to come under the control of his pure devotees like Mother Yashoda. So he's conquered by her love. He is brought under her control by her pure love for him. So Mother Yashoda does not think Krishna to be God. She considers him to be his child. And likewise, to reciprocate, so Krishna also considers himself as her child, nothing more. And that's exemplified and demonstrated in this Leela here. So we'll start getting into the Leela. So ekada grahadasishu yashodanandagehini karmantariniyukteshu nirmamantha swayam dadi yani hagitani tadbalacharitani cha tadi nirmantane kale smaranti tanyagayata. So one day, and this is Diwali day, it happens to be Diwali day, Mother Yashoda has engaged all her maidservants to do different tasks. But she has taken the task of churning butter into yogurt herself. So now she's the queen. Why does she need to churn butter herself? There's so many people to help to do it for her. So she's churning the butter herself because even though Krishna is very little, his stealing activities are famous throughout Gokula. And Mother Yashoda has been hearing complaints from every single person, every single gopi. So and these are not actually complaints from the gopis. They're actually ways to share the story, Krishna Katha, with each other, and also with Mother Yashoda, who has not been seeing Krishna's stealing pastimes. So, but Mother Yashoda, hearing all these complaints, thinks that now I need to do something. It's not very nice that the son of the king, goes around stealing from everybody's house. So in an effort to stop him stealing, she decides to make butter herself, because she thinks that the butter in her house may not be done so well because it's done by the maid servants. And that's why Krishna is going out to steal. So she decides that she wants to do it herself for Krishna, because she knows how to make the best butter for him. So in that effort, she starts making butter. So she gets the best milk from the Padmakanda special cows that she has. Out of all the cows that Nand Maharaj and Yashoda Mata have, the special cow, she gets that milk, and she starts making butter from that. And she also puts it for boiling on the stove. So while she's churning, she's also singing. So yani hagitani tad bala charitani cha. So while she's churning yogurt to make butter, she's also singing the glories of Krishna, and she's remembering his activities. So all her senses. So her body, she's churning for Krishna. Her mind, she is remembering Krishna, and her words, she's singing all the stories of Krishna. So in this way, she is fully Krishna conscious, body, mind, and words. So next, how she's looking when she's churning. So क्षौमं वासपृथुकटिकटे बिभ्रति सूत्रनद्धं पुत्रस्नेहस्मृतकुचयुगं जातकं पम्पशुभ्रो रज्वाकर्ष श्रमभुजचलात् कङ्कणौ कुण्डले च सुन्नं वक्तं कबरयुगलं मालती निर्ममन्था. So how she's looking while she's churning butter. So she's wearing a yellow saffron sari. So as far as closely I can think, mango colored sari. So she's churning and her body is moving as she's churning, and she's also perspiring because it's very hard work. Now she gets up very early in the morning to do this because she knows that if she does it later, Krishna won't let her do it. So she's also perspiring and she's singing along as well. And her eyebrows are also dancing in this. So, and out of her pure love for Krishna, and she's remembering she's missing her child, also milk is coming out of her body spontaneously. And as she's pulling on these ropes, her bangles are also making sounds, and they were making sounds like kartal. And her earrings were moving to and fro as she's churning and moving her body side to side, and they were like they were dancing. And the churning rod in the pot was making the sound of mridangam. So there's a music concert, and she's singing, and there's kartal and mridangam and dancing also. And she's wearing beautiful malti flowers, and she's missing her son. And Krishna, knowing this now, he is also missing her because, as we know, anybody who's all the devotee who sings for Krishna, that's where Krishna sits. So now Krishna is also missing her, and he also gets up, and then now he gets up, he doesn't see his mother, and it starts crying. So this is the starting point of Krishna's crying. So now he gets up, and he's desirous of mother's milk. तां स्तन्यकाम आसाद्य मदतीं जननीं हरिः गृहीत्वा दधिमन्तानां निषेधत् प्रीतिमावहन्. So Krishna becomes desirous of his mother's milk, and he approaches his mother lovingly. Now note, as I said, so he started crying. He woke up and he doesn't see his mother. Now he started crying. So now he comes slowly from the room that he was sleeping to where Mother Yashoda is churning. And he stops the churning by holding the churning rod. And Mother Yashoda gets very impressed seeing the intelligence of her child because he didn't hold on to anything else. He knows that, well, if he holds the rod, the churning will stop. Now, he's indicating that now I've come. You don't need to churn anymore. I've already come, so you can feed me and you can serve me. So now Krishna wants to have his mother's milk. तमङ्कमारूढमपाययत्स्थनं स्नेहस्नुतं सस्मितमीक्षते मुखम् अतृप्त उत्सृज्य जवेन सायय उत्सृज्यमाने पयसि तव दिश्रुति. So now Krishna gets upon her lap. He does not need to be invited. He gets upon her lap, and Mother Yashoda starts feeding him very lovingly. So now she's feeding him and she's looking at his face and he's looking at her face, and there's very sweet exchange that's happening. And she's drinking his beauty and he's drinking her milk, and it's very sweet exchange, and this is continuing. So now there's, as Gauranga Darshan Prabhuji puts it, now there's a transcendental competition between Mother Yashoda and Krishna. Between Mother Yashoda's love and her, love that's coming in the form of her milk, and Krishna's hunger and ability to reciprocate with her love. Now, both are unlimited in terms of Krishna. Yashoda's Mother Yashoda's love is unlimited, so her milk is unlimited. Krishna's ability to reciprocate is unlimited, so his hunger is unlimited. So yeah, so both of them, this is going on, and there's a transcendental competition, and then sometimes in this competition, Mother Yashoda will win and Krishna will lose because her love is so much that even Krishna's ability to reciprocate sometimes falls short, and some milk escapes from his mouth. So in this competition, sometimes Mother Yashoda only wins. And this is common theme in Vrindavan, that Krishna is unable to reciprocate completely with his devotees in Vrindavan. So suddenly she hears the milk that she has been putting on for boiling in the kitchen, and she hears that is now boiling and going to fall. So suddenly she hearing this, she quickly puts Krishna down, thinking that I'll save the milk and I'll come back and then keep feeding Krishna. She's not going anywhere, Krishna's not going anywhere. So she just thinks that she'll save the milk because anyways, that's also in Krishna's service. So she just goes to save the milk and she puts Krishna down. Now Krishna is very, very upset. He's not completely finished and he's very upset now. So now we'll see how upset he is. Sanjata kopa spurita arunadharam sandasya dadibhir dadimanta bhajanam vritva mashashru drisadad smanaraho jahasahayam gamtaram gataha. So now he's very, very displeased. So he feels very neglected by his mother. He's very sad. He's upset. He's angry. And again, he starts crying. So he just stopped crying for the time that Mother Yashoda was feeding him. Now he's crying again. So now he's he's angry also. Now he's biting his red lips with his white teeth, and he's very angry, agitated. And in his anger, he takes a small stone and he breaks the pot that she's churning, and he breaks it very skillfully without making any sound. And he's also crying now. He's angry, but he's also crying. He feels very genuinely neglected by his mother. And tears are coming. Now the question arises: are these real tears or false tears? Now, sometimes Krishna will have false tears. Sometimes when gopis are complaining, and to invoke the sympathy and the kindness of Mother Yashoda, he'll put on some tears. But at this moment, there's nobody around him, so he really doesn't need to cry at all, but he's actually crying. Acharyas and from Gauranga Prabhuji, he's actually crying. It's real tears. There's nobody else around him, so these are real tears. And he's crying, and while crying, now he gets up slowly and he leaves the room. And as he leaves the room, he the whole milk and butter, yogurt that Mother Yashoda was churning now is all on the floor. So he starts walking to the next room, and as he walks, he puts his footprints in the yogurt that she's been churning, and that footprints come all over and show the path to where he's going. So he goes from where he is to another room now. Now Mother Yashoda has come back after saving the milk, and she's come back now. So uttarya gopi susitam tayah punaha pravishya sandasya tadibhinnamatrakam bhaktam viloka swasutasya karmataj jahasitam chapi na tatra pashyati. So Mother Yashoda has come back, and she sees that everything is now on the floor. All her hard work is gone. There's nothing to save now. But she understands one thing, that this has been done by her son. Because the pot was broken skillfully, one, and two, he was not to be found there. So she understands and concludes that this is nobody else, this is no animal, this is no monkey, this is only her son who has done this. And at the same time, in Gauranga Prabhu lecture, he says something very sweet, that there was an Akashvani that says that a honey bee became angry, and because he was not getting sufficient honey, and the honey bee broke the pot. Now she understands the cryptic message. Even before that also, she understands that this is her son's job. And she then, wanting to teach him a lesson, she picks up a stick that's nearby, and she knows where he's gone because the footprints are all over the floor, and she slowly follows Krishna's footprints to the room that he is in. Now, what is he doing in this room? Ulukhalangre upari vyavasthitam margaya kamam dadatam suchistitam hayyam gachaurya vishanti tekshanam niriksha pascha sutamagama chainaha. So Krishna is on the wooden grinding motor, and he is doing a couple of things simultaneously. He has taken the butter and he started A, eating it, B, distributing to the monkeys, all while crying. He's still crying the whole time. But see, he's also very alert that Mother Yashoda will come at any moment, and she's going to punish me, she's going to scold me. So he's looking here and there to see that where she's coming and when she's coming. He's very alert to see that his mother definitely will come very soon. Now, Mother Yashoda can see Krishna on this wooden grinding motor, feeding the monkeys, eating, crying, and looking here and there. Now she wants to teach Krishna a lesson because all her hard work that she's done from morning time is now gone. So Mother Yashoda comes slowly, wanting to teach him a lesson, comes slowly to approach Krishna and puts the stick that she has behind her so he can't see it, and she comes slowly and suddenly comes in front of Krishna with a stick in her hand. Now, seeing this, Krishna becomes so frightened because this is his first experience in seeing his mother that angry, and seeing his mother with a stick in her hand. So he becomes very, very frightened, and he jumps from the wooden grinding motor and runs off. And now he's afraid, and he's still crying this whole time, and he starts running. And now he thinks that if I run towards the main gate, then Mother Yashoda will not be able to, she won't come to the main gate to chase me. Or even if she does come to the main gate, she's not going to come out the main gate. She's the queen. She's a very respectful lady. She's not going to run on the streets. And even if she runs on the streets, she won't catch me in front of everybody in public. Even if she catches me, she's not going to scold or punish me in public. So he runs towards the main gate and out the main gate. Now, thinking this way, he runs out the main gate. But little does he know that Mother Yashoda is running quite swiftly behind him, and she doesn't stop. She runs out the gate. She runs behind him wherever he goes now, and the chase begins. So in this chase, Krishna is very small, and he's running here and there and everywhere, and zigzag patterns and everywhere. And Mother Yashoda is big, quite bigger than Krishna, and she runs. Even though she's running, she's unable. It's quite an endeavor for her now to run behind her small son, and she's endeavoring, and she keeps running, but she's also tired because she's been doing so much work from the morning. But she continues to chase after him, and in this she starts yelling, stop, Krishna, stop, I come back to me. And Krishna but says, no, I'm not going to come back. You put the stick down. So in this whole chase, Krishna is keeping the safe distance from Mother Yashoda, and he keeps looking back to see if she's caught up to him or where she is, and over his shoulder, sorry. But he's keeping a safe distance between them, her and him. But he's crying this whole time as well, and they're yelling at each other to stop. And I'm not stopping. Please put the stick down. So at one point, he looks behind and from his shoulder to see where she has got to, and suddenly with her right hand, she catches his right hand and pulls him back. Now he's caught. But now she starts scolding him. Now he's done so many offenses from the morning. He's broken the pot, he's stolen butter, he's fed the monkeys, ran away, made her chase behind him, and then now he's going to tell some lies and argue and talk back to her as well. But he's also quite frightened in this now. So Kritagasantam Prarutantamakshiniim Krishantamanjanmashani Swapaninam Uttikshamanam Bhayavishmalekshanam Haste Grihitva Vishayat Agurat. Now he's scared. So now Krishna starts crying and quite loudly, and rubbing his rubbing his eyes with his hand. And all that kajal that is around his eyes now starts coming on his bluish face, and he's looking very pretty, even though he's crying a lot, and his eyes are full of fear. Still looking at his mother with a stick in her hand, and he's breathing very heavily. So generally, when Krishna's crying, Mother Yashoda wipes his tears, as all mothers do. But now she's very, very strict, and she's not wiping his tears. So he himself is wiping his own tears. And now Mother Yashoda starts scolding him and questioning him. That's really funny. I really enjoyed this part. So Mother Yashoda asks a couple of questions. So she says, you naughty boy, tell me who broke this pot. Now Krishna answers, you left me so neglectfully, mercilessly on the floor without feeding me. As you were running, the anklet your anklet hit the pot and it broke. So Yashoda looks at him and says, okay, oh really? So now who distributed the butter to the monkeys. Now tell me this question answer. He looks at her and says, okay, the one who made the monkeys distributed distributed butter to the monkeys. Um, yeah, who created the monkeys distributed the butter to the monkeys. Then she says, now she's she's not very liking this back talk, and now she says, okay, then why did you run? You did nothing wrong. Why did you run? He looks at her and says, because I saw the stick in your hand. Who knows? I got very I was very scared, so I ran away. Now Krishna is giving very clever responses back to her, and now which has made Mother Yashoda more stricter now. She says, now she's very quite a little annoyed as well. So she says, now you're acting like a monkey, Krishna. You're associating with monkeys so much so that you've become like a monkey. You're a monkey lover, and you've start acting like monkey. Now you become like monkey. Now this made me really laugh. So Krishna looks at his mother and says, okay, oh mother, if I'm like a monkey, then I must be a monkey from my mother's side, not from my father's side. So this is very funny, I thought, and very clever. So another smart response he gives. So Mother Yashoda says, oh, you clever boy. Now her mind is now made up that she has to teach him a lesson and somehow punish this child of his. So then Krishna says he's very agitated now. He's very fearful. He's very just shivering and shaking, and he's just talking. Then he says, "Oh mother, now you're calling me a monkey. Okay, fine. I'll go stay with the monkeys. I won't come back to your house." Now Mother Yashoda becomes a little stunned by this leaving response and says, "Okay, so he's very agitated now. So she can see that he's very afraid. So she throws the stick out of her hand." And then looking at him, now she fears that what if he runs away again? So in an effort to keep him, A, punish him, B, keep him in the house so that he doesn't run away again. So she decides to bind him now. So Krishna understanding now that he's going to be, she tells him, I'm going to bind you now. And understanding that he's now going to be bound, he starts yelling and he's also still crying. So he starts yelling more loudly and calling out for Mother Rohini, Nanda Maharaj and Balram. But nobody's there. It's just the two of them. But they're but she drags him home. And now he's still shouting and crying very loudly as coming home. So then all the neighbors hear this chaos and then start coming. All the gopis now think that he does everything in our house every day, but Mother Yashoda never listens to us. Now he must have done something in her house that has got her. Krishna Krishna must have done something in her house now, and they all come to see this play now. And as he keeps continuing to cry and everything. Now Yashoda sees the wooden grinding mortar and says that, you both are partners in crime. You stood on that. You sat on that. So now I'll bind you too. Now she tells her servants in the house to get some ropes, and she starts binding him. And now, of course, the rope falls 2 inches short. Now she gets more rope from her house, starts binding him 2 fingers short. More rope from her house, starts binding him 2 fingers short. Now, this is because Krishna doesn't want to get bound. He has this whole itinerary of his day planned. He's got to go play with his friends. He's got to do something else. He's got to steal here. There's a lot of activities that he has to do. So he doesn't want to be bound. So because Krishna doesn't want to be bound, his Ichha Shakti or Satya Sankalpa Shakti, that makes everything that he wants true, calls his Vibhuti Shakti that manifests in his belly. And this is, and this Vibhuti Shakti doesn't allow him to get bound. But Mother Yashoda is determined. She brings more ropes, but still 2 fingers short. Now the gopis are all laughing and smiling, and that's adding to her thing. And so she's then they say that, just leave him, Yashoda. This is not in Krishna's fate to get bound today. But Mother Yashoda is determined. She doesn't want to hear anything. She wants to bind her child. So she tells all of them to go get ropes, and they bring ropes, but 2 fingers short. And here the slogan comes that Nachantarna bahiryasya na purvam na pichaparam purva param bahischanta jagato yo jagatchayah. So, and tam matvatmatmajam avyaktam matyalingam adokshajam gopiko lukaledham nam bhavanda prakritam yatha. So Krishna is all pervading. He doesn't have interior, exterior, all pervading in space, time. So it is not possible to bind Krishna. So, but even that Krishna, she is thinking her to be her own son, and she is continuing with her endeavor to bind Krishna. So seeing this endeavor of his mother and seeing her dedication, now she's tired as well. So she's got up early, churned, ran after him, bound, trying to bind him now, and everybody's smiling, laughing also. So she's quite tired also. So but seeing this effort of hers, he becomes quite compassionate, and and as Krishna becomes compassionate, his Kripa Shakti is invoked, and this means that his Sati Sankar Shakti, Vibhuti Shakti goes away, and his Kripa Shakti comes, and Krishna agrees to be now bound. Now he agrees to be bound. So the slogan comes here that Swamatru Sinnagaatranam Vishwasya Kabarasrajah Drishva Parishramam Krishna Kripayasi Swabandhane. So he agrees, Swabandhane, so he agrees to be bound by her. Seeing her endeavor, seeing her parishrama effort, and Krishna agrees to be now bound. So Krishna now finally bound, and I really liked one point that Gaurang Darshan Prabhuji made, is that the degree to which we align ourselves and perform bhakti and align ourselves to Krishna's wishes, Krishna then um, uh, aligns himself to our wishes and changes his plans. Exactly what we see here. Even though he had some plans, he left all of them and he agreed to be bound by Mother Yashoda, and he gives up all his plans and comes under the control. So this shows his bhakta vashyata quality in full. So evam sandarshita hyangam harinam pratyavashyata swavashenapi krishnena yashedam seshvaram vashi. So he gets bound, and his bhakta vashyata quality is shown in full here. So he's bound, and Mother Yashoda keeps. I'll take only 5 more minutes. Krishna is bound, and she keeps all these little boys that he plays with to show to in his company, and says, keep him there. And now she goes off to do her tasks, and Balram and Rohini Mata come home, and Balram gets very angry seeing Krishna bound up like this, and says, who has bound you and everything. It's quite angry at seeing this state of Krishna. And then Krishna says, no, Mother Yashoda has bound me. So Balram gets quite, now his anger goes away, and he's mellow. He's mellow and goes to Mother Yashoda and says, Krishna, Mother Yashoda, do you know who he is? Know who you have bound? And Mother Yashoda says very sarcastically, really, who? And he says, he's Rama, he's Matsya, Kurma, Varaha, everything. And then Mother Yashoda says, oh, really? Then who are you? And Balram says, oh, I am Ananta, I am Lakshmana, I am Balram, this, that. And then Mother Yashoda gives a very cute response. So she says, do all the avatars only have my house to appear in? So she makes it very comment there, and then says, now if you don't go away from here, I'll also bind you. So then he runs away and tells Krishna, no, nothing is there. Now Krishna is just sitting there, and then he sees these two Yamalarjuna trees. So these are Nalakuvera and Manikriva, as we know. And they've been cursed by Narad Muni because they were very puffed up by their Janma Aishwarya Shrutashri, and so they've become very puffed up. So they've been cursed by Narad Muni they've been acting in a way that's like trees. So they didn't have any clothes on. So Narad Muni curses them to become trees. But because even Narad Muni's curse is also a blessing, they become trees in Nanda Maharaja's courtyard, and they're seeing all these leelas play out. So Krishna with his starts crawling slowly, and then with his wooden grinding motor behind him, that's now horizontal, goes towards the Yamalarjuna trees, and he pushes them, and they fall down. So that way, Nalavu Kuvera and Manigriva get delivered, and they leave to their abode, and they thank Krishna and Narad Muni, and they leave to their abode. And then finally, Nanda Maharaj comes in all this chaos that they've fallen down. He opens the the rope that's bound him by Mother Yashoda. He opens that and then takes him and does, feeds him milk with raw sugar, and then takes him, and then Mother Yashoda and Krishna reunite, and then finally Mother Yashoda feeds him. So now everything comes to the full circle, and Mother Yashoda continues to feed him after all this. So thank you so much for putting up with me today.
Very well done.
Excellent job.
Excellent.
Very nice class, Vidushi. Thank you so much.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
I was very
Excellent.
brave today, so thank you for putting up with me. So
No.
Brilliant.
Thanks.
Roja Mataji. We can't hear you. You're mute. You're on mute.
All right. Sorry, Mataji. Do you want to share the screen, Veda-based?
Oh, yes, sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Are you going? Do you want to go verse by verse? Or are you doing the verses first, and depending on that?
Just share that screen, Mataji. I'll just read from this.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, verse by verse. Do I say the line and everybody says the line is the same?
Yeah, sure.
Or I just say that and continue.
It's up to you.
Because we don't have time. I don't know.
Go ahead then.
Okay. I'm seeing my screen, so if others want to see database, you can share the screen. Thanks for giving me this chance, Mataji. Aham sarvasya prabhavo mata sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam bhūta bhava samanvita. So the translation, shall I read? Okay. And the source of all spiritual and material worlds, everything emanates from me. The wise who perfectly know this engage me in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts. So what aham sarvasya prabho. So sarva. What is meant by sarva here is sarvasya, everything. This includes Krishna is Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, everything. Okay, we think that, oh, we have done this software, and because of the software, I'll say, oh, I have done this software. But nothing is coming from us, actually. It's everything is coming from him. You know, this body, this soul, this brain, that intelligence, everything is coming from Krishna only. That is the main thing which we have to understand. That's what Krishna says, I am the origin. He is revealing his vibhuti here, his opulence here in this verse. Actually, these 4 slokas which we are reading is the essence of the Bhagavad Gita. If you don't read Bhagavad Gita, if you don't have time, if anyone reads this 4, that gives them the punya. So he's revealing his vibhuti, that is his opulence. Then I think he will go into the great detail and explaining the opulences in the later chapters, but that's the main thing. In this verse, the Krishna also begins with explaining how a Vedantist should move beyond the intellectual theory to the practical realization of the absolute truth. I think Prabhupada nicely explains the purport. You can all read that, but this is my understanding. I thought I will share. Everyone can read it, but you will get only chance sometimes only to talk about your understanding. So that is my understanding. So in this verse, the practical realization of the God takes place by what? Through devotional service. Okay, that's what has been explaining here. Bhajante and bhava samanvitaha in this verse. Okay, Buddha means it is intelligence. That's what the knowledge we should have that. Okay, that's we do have, but we have to realize that we have to use it. Okay, bhava means ecstatic love. Bhajante is worship. Okay, so whoever they know Krishna, all this they worship with their intelligence. Okay, that's the main thing. That's the main reason we have to read the Bhagavad Gita so that we get the intelligence. So whoever, so they identify Krishna as the source of everything. So, and the one who understands that the Krishna is the origin of everything, even the demigods whom we say, they are also coming from Krishna. Okay, the demigods, this earth, this universe, Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, everything. So what are we? We are nothing over here. Okay, so one who understands this perfectly, then the bhajana is perfect. Okay, so that's what I understand from this verse. Is any questions? Mataji can answer. I just asked, courtesy sake. I don't have intelligence. I'm trying to learn. Okay, we'll go to the next one. I'm turning here. Matsita matkata prana bodhayantah parasparam kathayantascha mam nityam tushyantacha ramayantacha. Translation: the thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. Their lives are fully devoted to my service, and they derive great satisfaction and bliss from always enlightening one another and conversing about me. Okay, so what are we doing at the moment? That's what talking about Krishna. Okay, Vidushi has nicely picturized everything. You know, if you close your eyes when she was talking, you can visualize. You know, Mata Yashoda Mata, earrings are moving, bangles are moving. We are talking here also. That is what we need to do every day. Okay, so that is what Krishna is saying here. Is my pure devotees dwell in me and their lives are fully devoted my service. This is also devotional service. So what we are doing is talking about Krishna, thinking about Krishna, reading about Krishna. It's, you know, it's not that you have to go to a temple and devotional service. That's not, nowadays that's not is going to happen also. How many months ago we can't, again our house is only a temple, and then whatever the prayers we are doing is only that is devotional service. Whatever we are cooking, boga is a devotional service, reading is a devotional service, and offering flowers to the devotional service, and everything. And this is also devotional service I'm doing today and talking to you, and you are listening. This is also devotional service. That's what Krishna is saying. We are not pure, but at least we are trying. That's important in here. Okay. And then what are we getting? We are getting the great satisfaction and the bliss. You know, if you watch a Bollywood movie or Tollywood movie, whatever the movie, that satisfaction is that bliss is different. That is different. That's not called as a bliss. Also, that's the we are satisfying of senses. But this one, once if somebody takes this ruchi, this bliss, this is something is permanent. That's what I feel. It's permanent. And you see, every week we are listening Krishna story. Each person, last time Sandhya Mataji is explained, now Vidisha, but still you feel like that taste, that is there. That is what about God. Every time you see same old Bollywood movie, you get bored also 2 times, 3 times, or 4 times. You will be fed up of that. But you listen to Krishna Katha every day, and then you get the taste. And that taste it's not explainable. Okay? So that's what Krishna is saying, that my devotees always talk about me. Okay, that's about, I think Prabhupada nicely explained here. Tushyanticha, Ramayanticha, pleased. Okay, and in the transcendental bliss. So you can read later on the purport. So I'll move on to the next one. Tesam satata yuktanam pachatam pirtipurvakam tadami buddhi yogam tam ena mam upayantite. Translation: to those who are constantly devoted to serving me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me. So here the important thing is Priti Purvakam. Okay, that is what? Love. Okay, so anything which we do for Krishna with love, then automatically you will, and not only actually Krishna, anything actually, any work which you're doing, it is with love, which you do, that is different. When you're cooking with love, that becomes more tasty. When you're serving to Lord, when hoga, that's tasty. So that's love is more important here. What I feel is, if anything, if you do, it is something like you're satisfying your senses. That is Indriya Taratantraya Jnana, something like that. Mataji, you can help. Indriya Taratantraya Jnana. So that is only satisfying your senses. Okay, so that's the most important here. When you work for the Krishna, you work with the love and enthusiasm. That is what the Krishna consciousness life, that's what you need to think about it. So, what else I can add into this? I'm trying to think. So that's what I have, Mataji. If you wanted to add anything, you can add. There is no contradiction here, because only qualification is, your sincerity and the love. Okay, with love, try to serve the Krishna. That's it. And I think somewhere I have missed something. I've in the purport, I thought I will emphasize on that, but I was not reading the purport here. You can always read the purport. In this only Krishna, Prabhupada explains very nicely. Buddhi means intelligence, yoga means mystic activities,